There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong, and I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again.
What if I go stronger? What if I get higher? What if I start doing things I know I will regret? I will make my own way, I will not surrender. I will do my best until I get put under. What if I go stronger? 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 What if I go stronger?
How do you achieve your greatness?
There's no margin for error.
No room for mistakes.
You need total control.
Your success is determined by your grit.
It takes thousands of hours perfecting your moves.
And only the strong survive.
You think you've paid your dues?
You think you're ready to enter the arena?
Think again.
This is the Telkom Digital Gaming League,
This is where legends fight till the last second.
where the action explodes straight through your system.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Dota players around the world. Some more Thursday night DGL Masters action for you. It's going to be xTc Gaming versus Ventus. A bit of a biggish game. These are pretty much mid-level rankers so far, and hopefully going to be a pretty interesting game. I am Jubba, joined by the succulent Succubus. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, thank you very, very much. I'm very excited to see this matchup. Of course, Ventus losing both their games in round 1 and 2 against APG and XD, and xTc winning against Pulse but losing a game to XD. So I would like to see, maybe we see a win for Ventus this time around.
Well, they are pretty much losing both of their series, so hopefully they can actually pull something out of their hat and actually start giving themselves a couple of the points on the board, and not looking too good for them. But I mean, it has been a little bit of a roster change for them as well, so it's going to take a bit of time for them to start getting used to each other's team players, etc., etc. So hopefully we can see some big things. But as normal, some of the bans coming out, some common bans, the Shadow Demon as well as the Slaughter. Darkseer not commonly banned out in the first phase of banning, but Ventus, they ban out the Weaver. Teams haven't had too much success on the Weaver either, but still feeling that they need to actually ban it up. But now xTc picking up the LD. I mean, this thing is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's been pretty ridiculous this time around. Look, it's got a average win rate about 57% according to our lovely stats over here by Mr. Sargon himself. Shout out to you, my boy. But it's banned or picked 84% of the time apparently. So I mean, it is something we've seen a lot in this series, and look, it works out well majority of the time, but we've seen it get absolutely wrecked by a few picks. So, I mean, you throw a little witch doctor in there, you know, get some bounces on the dude, get some coconuts. But one hero that we have seen banned every single time without fail is finally on the map, and that is the Underlord.
Well, let's see if the side of xTc can actually deal against the big boy himself, that Underlord. It can be a little bit of a hesitant kind of pick. I mean, teams, I don't know if they really revolving around that Dark Rift and trying to really get those team ganks happening. But we'll see if Ventus can actually make it work. Just jumping back to the LD, there's been a minor update today, actually. Minor. Well, I mean, a lot of the talents. Okay, well, Valve calls it a minor, so fair enough. I got to call it a minor too. But I mean, LD has pretty much got a pretty big nerf. I mean, his attack range has changed from 200 to 175. His damage has changed from plus 65 to 55. These are just talents that we're talking about, just the talent tree. So it changes things as well.
What is nice is that his level 20 is now 50-second respawn time, minus 50 seconds. So buyback's not really, if he gets to like that 70-second cooldown and doesn't have a buyback, it's now down to like 25, 30 seconds, which is pretty significant on level 20.
Well, obviously, xTc, they still feel very confident at running him in the draft. I think...
It's the new carry.
It's the new. We were actually talking about it before the game actually went up. Myself and Succubus were actually talking about the Dazzle carry options, because I mean, what's his one talent tree that he gets like plus 60 damage as a right-clicking Dazzle. I mean, stick him in the mid lane, right click down a couple of heroes, easy peasy game one. So we'll see how this update has actually affected the Dazzle. Pretty interesting stuff. Concerning what this update has done. So we'll wait and see. So far, I think they're going to stay pretty standard, I think.
Yeah. I think my most favorite changes is probably the first changes is where you can no longer attack shrines until you've taken the tier 3 towers. It's going to make it a lot harder for teams to push and get more instant map control. I mean, there's still options to TP to kind of where your tier 1s were. So I think that's a really nice change. You're going to see maybe a bit longer games this time around, or maybe some more aggressive lineups and heavy pushing strats.
Well, Larkin's back.
Lycan is back.
Larkin's back, and he's the biggest pusher of them all, or one of the biggest pushers of them all. Do you think that xTc may actually resort to putting him in the off lane? Underlord's probably going to be the off laner for Ventus. That does actually leave xTc looking for their off laner pretty soon.
Oh, I would like to see like the Lycan Beastmaster, that type of thing come into play again. I mean, you've got those wolves, you've got the necro creeps you can always build. It's for pushing strats, it's nice. But the problem with Lycan is that he falls off late game. So I mean, you have to use him the early to mid stages of the game, because late game there's many other carries that do beat him. But often when you have a hero like Lycan on your team, you have a draft to compensate, so it never gets to mid game. It kind of ends before that. So I would like to see those fast OP pushing strats again. Fast games, very aggressive games. We've seen very aggressive games, but just to change it up a little bit, I think would be pretty interesting.
Yeah,
but
I completely agree.
Another change is nice is the wards. It's now 100 gold for a sentry ward instead of buying 2 at the same time. So it's going to make support's life a lot easier. I mean, if you've got like a bounty or whatever in your lane, you can just spend the easy 100 gold instead of having to wait for 200 gold and people shouting at you for sentries. So
100%.
There's some nice changes here, but we're seeing the vengeful spirit once again.
Yeah, well, let's just run through the drafts and picks. I mean, we got digressed a little bit there. So the bands coming out from xTc is going to be our Slark. Our Sniper is also doing very well in the Masters series. Sniper is doing really, really well. So banning him out for the side of Ventus, banning out the Centaur Warrunner as well as the Lifestealer. Going towards the picks. Now, Pudge has been a very common pick in our Masters series, putting him in a position 4 kind of support role and getting his roam on, and those hooks can really devastate a team. Vengeful Spirit being picked up here for Ventus. Probably going to be a... Is this going to be a APG core Vengeful Spirit here for the side of Ventus? Do you think this is what I'm looking at?
It could be. It could just as well be. I mean, we haven't got a proper legitimate carry for Ventus as of yet. So I don't know. This could actually just be a mid Pudge for once. I mean, he's got a win rate of 75 in the Master Series so far. I mean, he's been doing really well. This pick has been doing really, really well. But you're right. It's being more used as that roaming position 4. That makes a lot of impacts and plays around the map in the early stages. It gains his team that advantage. But just looking at the picks here, you might see a Pudge going mid, the Underlord possibly going onto the off lane, and maybe the Ogre and the Vengeful making the rotations as position 5 and position 4s.
Okay.
Ventus don't really have a carry to speak of. right now.
Well, Ventus has completely got a couple of options open to them depending on how they decide to choose it. Moving along to the side of xTc, picking up the Sand King, and going to do some good work in the off lane with their Caustic Finale. We can expect it every single time. And Timbersaw, now this is a hero that I have not seen thus far this year in this this league. I mean, it looks like they may trying to bring him back, throw back Dota.
Well, Timbersaw is a very, very strong hero. I've always loved him. And if he gets those levels, he is absolutely insane. He has fast levels, quick farm, easy pickoffs. I mean, just that reactive armor alone is ridiculous. He gets to a certain level, and no matter how much damage you do to him, he's just going to regen it up. Like, you can try harass him all you want, and he just regens it up as fast as you're doing damage. It's an absolutely retarded hero.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. He's also received a bit of a buff as well, according to his talent tree as well. So, I mean, rightfully so. xTc, snag him up and get him.
Yeah, but I mean, we do have Tusk as well coming out here for the side of xTc, and it does look like a very aggressive lineup. I mean, you've got the Sand King, the Timber, the Tusk, the Druid able to push down towers, the Dazzle being able to heal and save people. So, I mean, very aggressive lineup. A lot of plays coming out from them, I expect.
Well, something to note is if Ventus decides to actually run Vengeful as a core, they've got still a second support they need to pick up. Could be a little bit of a problem for the Timbersaw if they actually pick up the Disruptor here. They did ban out the Necro for the side of xTc.
I would pick up an Odie, and Odie wrecks the Timbersaw and absolutely destroys Timber.
The problem is then if the
Sand King.
but if the Pudge is, if they're going to place Pudge in the mid lane, they've already put in. Yeah. I suppose they could play him in the safe lane. They could play Odie in the safe lane.
They can run Odie carry. It's worked a lot of times in the past, and it's actually pretty legit. He starts hitting like a hammer. And, you know, he absolutely destroys strength heroes. So, for me, after that Timbersaw, I'll be like, okay, here we go. We pick Odie, GG, done.
Okay, well, it's good. It's leaving Ventus with a couple of options here, which I do like. I think the problem is that now even Ventus doesn't know what they want to do. We're sitting on about 30 seconds left of their pick time. 1 minute, 8 seconds in reserve time. So, Ventus has got a bit of time to think it through and see which way they want to actually go.
They definitely can, but it looks like they are thinking long and hard about this last pick. It's going to determine the rest of their draft. They decide to pick up an Invoker. Also very good that Cos Wex build is going to do some fair amount of work if he does opt to go for that, and I think he should. Because, I mean, Dazzle, Sand King, Timber, Tusk, they all rely on mana. So they're very mana-intensive team. So having an Invoker with a Cos Wex build is definitely going to change things around for them, I think.
Oh, you land a proper EMP, it's going to do some wreckage.
It's going to do some wreckage, and they can't really do much after that. So, but yeah, this draft is pretty strange, though. I would love to. I'm gonna love to see how they're gonna run Venge and Pitlord to get Underlord, Pitlord. And together. I would really love to see how they're gonna run this.
It's gonna.
The lanes are gonna be interesting. They could also do a carry Invoker, which we haven't seen often, but it has been done. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It could happen. It could happen. At the moment, xTc has more of I'd say maybe a standard draft. I'd say maybe something that makes a little bit more sense in my head, but it's going to be for the side of Ventus to show us the way that their lineup's actually going to work.
We'll have to see, eh?
Well, for those of you that are just joining us, welcome to game number 1 of this anticipated xTc versus Ventus game. For the side of the Radiant will be Ventus. We've got Losing My Mind playing the Invoker. We've got Night Wraith going to be playing our Vengeful Spirit. We've got 3 playing our Pudge, Seer playing the Ogre Magi, and last but not least, going to be Roar on the Underlord. Hopefully we can see big things from him. I'm pretty excited to see what the Underlord can actually do for his team.
Yeah, it's always been banned so far. We haven't seen it really, so I'm actually pretty excited to see him here. But without further ado, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Blue Cat playing the Tusk. Then we're going to have Skynet on that Sand King, Doom Bunny on that Dazzle, DDP on your Lone Druid, and last but not least, Dota and Die on the Timbersaw.
And that rounds it up for the side of xTc. We do know some of the names are a little bit fishy, so we'll just go ahead and use the names that are on the heroes as well. If we remember, we'll throw in the correct names. But as you can see, Mr. Blue Cat, he seems very, very happy in confusing us with some Chinese fonts.
Yeah, indeed. looks like the Timber's going to be solo here in the safe lane. Does have an aggressive, lane ward there, which is going to help him suss out what's going on. But yeah, it does look like the side of XT are going to try and smoke up and maybe get the enemy's ruin. There are only 3 heroes here. This could be devastating.
Ball has actually been engaged. They're going to spot out Seer, grab the whole tip in the ball, and they're after Seer, the Ogre Magi. They're going to try and chase him down. Immediate weave coming out from Dazzle, and there comes the Burrow Strike, slowing him down, and I think that is it. The side of Ventus is going to say, just let him go, boys. There's nothing we can do. And already XTC putting their name on the map with 1 kill to boot.
Well, Kronos already landing his first hook of the game onto Skynet, and then unfortunately Skynet just Burrow Strikes back in onto Seer. Yeah, I was quite concerned of them going onto the Ogre Magi first, finding that tanky support, 660 HP to start with. Just as a fact, it's a hard hero to go on, but no, executing that very beautifully, and obviously that Shadow Wave doing a lot of damage and a lot of work as well. They had enough disable there. That lane ward.
Yeah, it's...
They like their lane wards, this team, eh?
Yeah, no, they really do. But now looking at the mid lane, they're actually going to lane the Lone Druid in the mid lane. How does this match up fare?
Whoa. It should actually go pretty well for the Lone Druid, as long as Invoker doesn't actually get onto the main hero. I suspect he might feed his bear once or twice, which is going to give the Invoker... It's going to give the Invoker quite an advantage, and Invoker does right-click pretty hard in the start with the 50 base damage, so we'll have to see what he does. But it does look like we just... Oh, Pudge just went down.
Wow, that was even quick. I was even watching the health bars, so Hart losing himself and giving a kill.
So they balled up,
Well,
stunned, and Shadow Wave to finish it.
easy peasy here for the side of XTC. This tri lane is going to be an absolute nightmare here. But I do like the fact that they're actually putting up the Timbersaw against the Underlord, a solo matchup. But bot lane is going to be an absolute disaster.
Ugh.
Or action-packed, let me say action-packed. I won't say disaster because it can go either way. I mean, they've got 2 stuns here for the side of Ventus. We've got the Ogre Magi, we've got the Vengeful Spirit, and you land that into a hook under the tree. It could also do a little bit of work here. So
It's a problem. It is a problem. You need to maybe just go on the Dazzle, because he's going to end up saving whoever you go on. So if you can kill the Dazzle off in time before he gets like a heal or a Shallow Grave off, then maybe. But it's always hard to go on a hero with a heal like a Dazzled on Omni Knight, Abaddon, something like that. If you got a hero like that in your lane, it's going to be very hard to kill.
It's going to be a lot of work for the side of Ventus to actually get something out of this lane. At the moment, it seems completely XT's lane. Looking at the last hits, I mean, Sand King sitting 7-1. They do actually get the Ice Wall up onto Night Wraith. A little bit of trouble. Seer throws out the Ignite. It's not going to be good enough, as they now choose to target down Seer. And they're not going to get anything for their troubles, but still showing the potential aggression here from the side of XTC. It's super scary here for Ventus.
Just unfortunate that Kronos had to use his hook to hook out Night Wraith. He could have gotten some extra damage onto one of the heroes, but choosing to save his teammate in the end. Just looking at the safe lane here on the side of XT, Dota and Dai going against Roar. Going against that Underlord, it should be a fairly easy lane for him. I mean, that Whirling Death does so much damage, 100 damage, and the stat loss percentage is pretty significant. So, I mean, he's going to be doing a lot of damage, and like I said, he'll be able to regen with his reactive armor now, 2 points in there. So, the Pit Lord's going to have a bit of a tough time here, but he is leveling that Firestorm, and he's passive, so he could take a bit of damage away from the Timbersaw.
Well, I do have a question. Does the Timbersaw's pure damage from the Whirling Blades actually cut through his passive?
Oh, it should. It should. It's pure damage.
So even him leveling up the Underlord's passive may actually not be any good.
Actually, maybe it's not pure damage anymore. I think Whirling Death is just a stat loss, but it doesn't pierce the spell immunity, but it does dispel. So I think the dispel work should actually cut through his passive, his aura. I think it just applies to his right clicks that won't be as effective, but his spell damage will pretty much be the same.
Oh, DDT may have been founded out, but Ogre Magi not going to get anything off it. There was a little bit of a rotation in the mid lane. Ogre Magi trying to see if he can make something happen. Couldn't do it, but there they do. The fear comes out from the bear, pushing the team back, but now Blue Cat does TP in, trying to see if they can actually turn the tides here. fairly quickly, and it's going to probably be just a little bit of a back-off moment for the side of xTc. They throw out the stun. They're going to try and maybe chase it down. Bear doing a little bit of blocking work. There comes the ball from Blue Cat. Going to catch out our Invoker. Is it going to be good enough to bring him down? DDD still under the tower, taking a chunk of damage. They turn their attentions back to him, throwing down the cold step, completely ignoring the tusk. And now Sia actually taking a chunk of damage. There comes the tornado. Going to hold him in place for a little bit. Can they actually find a kill? Yeah. Comes an entangle from the bear. There's the ball. And now Invoker does go down from that aggressive play, turning it around almost immediately. That was... Wow, that entangle RNG is just too good.
That was unfortunate. I think they would have gotten out scot-free if it wasn't for that entangle. But yeah, Coswex build coming out here for the Invoker as I expected. But yeah, that was kind of a weird fight. I mean, they were focusing at one another and then not focusing, and then they were going back and forth onto different heroes each time. I was like, okay, is anyone actually gonna die here? Oh my god, entangle once again. Immediate tornado, but he gets blocked in and he's gonna go down again. Yo, Blue Cat making the plays, boys.
Yeah, well, I mean, also Ventus playing a very risky game. They're also playing under the tier 1 tower in that earlier little battle and then going down again. Well, now the Invoker going down, well, once again. So, bit of a feeder coming out from the Invoker. Feeding the Lone Druid, and it's not the kind of position or start you want to actually give to the Lone Druid at the moment.
It's not, but it looks like Doom Bunny is in a little bit of trouble here. He's taking a lot of burn damage, gets stunned up again. Ooh,
ball saved, but now 3 is going to be in the mix of things. Going to try and rot them down. Not right. Sia taking a chunk of damage. Can they bring him down? They do. Scarnet picking up that last right click there with the casting finale, slowing him down. And 3 looks like he's in trouble as well. Double kill for the SK. The Sand King in this off lane. People were running him as a solo. It's the wrong way to run him.
Caustic finale, guys. GG.
Oh.
It's really strong, especially with the dazzle poison touch. You just can't run away from it. But again, Blue Cat being there just in time to make the plays happen. This guy is rotating like a boss, I would say.
No,
I wanted to say like a master, but that'd be a little bit too cliche since we're casting it. The master.
Yeah. No, it would be. It would be.
It wouldn't sound too great.
Think of something original. Oh, they catch the hook! Oh, they catch the hook, but immediately feared away. And DDD actually going to be able to survive through it. Quick on the... Yes. And the amount of rotations that they did get through, that brought Doom Bunny to the mid. Even Blue Cats are sitting here in the sidelines trying to see if they could actually make something happen. So, I mean, even with the attempts from the side of Ventus to actually pick up the kill on the Lone Druid, they just can't make it happen. And Tangle up on the Invoker. That punch does get the hook down onto the Lone Druid. This could be a bit of a problem for him. Fear is on cooldown. Eventually, they do actually pick up the kill. They even brought in our Underlord to the mid lane to ensure they brought down LD.
The Underlord was there previously. I mean, Present Eye has been alone in this lane for a little while now, and he's sitting now at almost level 8.
But may go down. Yeah, does he go down to the creeps? No, he's actually going to survive through it. And Doom Bunny, he should have actually denied himself to the creeps, but Doom Bunny, poison touch. Oh, that little skill over there gave me many a kill. Now we've got Night Wraith. He's going to be the next point of target here. Ice walled up, trying to do something. Not going to happen. And instant heal bomb coming out from Doom Bunny. I mean, Dazzle carry, guys.
We have a smoke rotation here coming out onto the Timbersaw. Kronos is still smoked. He's got his hook level 2, so the cast range is actually massive. Just like hover over the hook at level 2. Isn't that a bit ridiculous?
Oh, that is actually super scary. He can actually just hide on the sidelines then actually Dota and die up, but now he wants to make a play. Yeah, the pit does come down. The hook's going to pull the Underlord out. And Dota and Die survive to run back into the pit. Going to chainsaw himself out. Gets a rotation from Doom Bunny. But that is going to be the end of it. They may actually just clearing down the trees here. Dota and Die doesn't want to be caught with his pants down again.
It's okay. Nobody saw.
Almost a good hook. Almost.
Shame, man. That must be frustrating. Yeah. Very good attempt though, I must say. Very good attempt.
You know, it's like what Ventus is trying to achieve here is like, it's like good Dota. It's like really good Dota, but looking at the scores, 9 minutes in, we're sitting 1-8 in favor of xTc. So you kind of beg the question is, what is Ventus doing wrong? Or should we say, what is xTc doing right to actually put that score deficit up like that?
Sorry, Pete, I didn't actually hear you.
Well, hold that thought. Mid lane. All right, no problem. Mid lane, though, DDD did try get going on there from the Pudge throughout the hook. Never actually landed. And now they're going to get that rotation again from Blue Cat. They do know that there's a bit of a potential here. Okay, Ice Wall's missed. I think that is the call for them to just back off. So my question was earlier, we're sitting 1-8. Ventus is pretty much trying to do the right things to try and give themselves the advantage. They're trying to rotate. They're trying to pick up those kills. But xTc is just benefiting from every time they engage and they clash. We're sitting 1-8, 9 minutes in, 10 minutes in now. What is Ventus doing wrong, or should I rephrase it and say what xTc is doing right?
Well, you put the nail in the coffin there. It's simply just the rotations that are making a big difference. And Blue Cat's making a lot of plays happen here, and of course having a dazzle in your tri lane essentially is a massive thing. I mean, every time they try to go on someone, the dazzle's right there to heal them, right there to shallow grave. It's hard to do anything with the dazzle on your team, especially in the early game. But yeah, they are trying to make things happen. I mean, Dota and Die as well now. He's pretty strong. He's sitting at level 10, almost level 11. He's gonna go. I think he's gonna go for that. Looks like he's gonna go straight for the cloak and the Hood of Defiance there. But I think Ventus trying to make rotations is a good thing. They need to try to get some pick off so they can maybe push some towers down. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, he needs to go for the Quaswax Bolt here, but he doesn't have that pushing Invoker thing going there. So maybe when they come together, but massive rotations coming in here, bot.
Scarnet does actually miss out the Burrow Strike. It's off cooldown. Sia got to get out. And Blue Cat was trying to find him. Couldn't make it happen in time. And our Sia being able to actually survive that little engagement there. Just something crazy that I was having a look at. Have you seen the boots on the side of xTc? We have got like 4 arcane boots on the side of xTc. I mean, even the Dazzle's already got his arcane boots. At 11 minutes in, 12 minutes in.
Think about it. A massive tornado EMP, no more mana. Okay, fine, we'll just have 4 mana boots. It's a simple solution. We'll just mana boot everything back. But yeah, so for me that makes a lot of sense. But as you were saying before, it is unfortunate because they haven't quite got the draft to do much on the side. They haven't got that very aggressive lineup. Like xTc have got the Timber, the Sand King, the Tusk. It's very aggressive heroes that make plays, and of course, you know, the Lone Druid being a more efficient carry than anyone on the side.
Oh, magic missile coming out from Night Wraith. Going to catch out Blue Cat. Swap coming out into Doom Bunny. Going to throw him in the mix of things hot. Trying to work him down. And now Lone Druid want to run in there, but decides against it. The Night Wraith is going to get feared out. The bear almost getting the hook on, but the recall just too good. Calling him back just in the nick of time.
That was
quick fingers. Yeah.
Quick fingers, yeah.
Quick fingers.
I suspect, because I mean, Pit Lord, you know, Pudge, Ogre, Venge, they're nice heroes. They can also rotate and get quick pick-offs. So maybe we see them now bunch up and start doing that around the map. But, you know, I'm kind of worried about this Timbersaw. He's getting pretty big. I mean, he's got that Hood Defiance now going for his Bloodstone as well. He should have his Bloodstone in the next, I would say, 5 minutes. Losing My Mind is not trying to do something to him, stop the push, but unfortunately he doesn't have enough mana to really make an impact on him.
Well, we got a little bit of a...
Once again, is Blue Cat and Skynet.
There's a little bit of a hunting squad here at the bot. They've been employed by the US Marines. They're going to find out North Wraith. There comes the epicenter. Going to be hooked out from the Pudge. And Pudge just being in the right place at the right time. Saving their core, the Vengeful Spirit. A lot actually used here from the side of xTc. Epi is down. Balls down for the moment. Even trying to use the punch, the Walrus Punch. And still not being able to catch out the Vengeful Spirit. I suppose that is a win for Ventus in itself.
It definitely is. I mean, they expended quite a bit on that gank. The Sand King ulti came down, you know, but I must say Kronos was there at the right time as well, hooking out Night Wraith. Very, very good plays. But now they're going to return the favor and try go onto them. Skynet instant smoke. I mean, instant dust.
Oh, December, there comes here, trying to stun out someone, stuns out our Blue Cat. Now Blue Cat's trying to see what he can find here. No, Heart's going to just save himself. There's the swap, right click, and down goes Blue Cat. Eventually the side of Ventus starting to pull it together and starting to rack up the kills.
I wonder why they stuck around there.
They may actually get a tier 1 tower in the mid lane though. Not enough damage coming out from the Underlord to actually hold that off. And even using the heal to just keep that bear alive just a little bit longer, which they do manage to do.
Is that yes, they're getting the pickoffs, they're getting the plays starting to happen now, but they're slowly but surely losing the map control. They've lost now 2 tier 1 towers and nearly a third down here. The third tier 1 is standing at 270 HP. Losing My Mind is trying his best to, you know, kind of stop the push happening, but he's not really being able to make the plays that he wants to make. I think the team needs to start coming together, work with the pit lord, work with the invoker, try push some towers of their own now.
What is the reason for the Vanguard on the invoker? Just survivability at this point?
Folding into an abyssal blade later could be pretty useful, or he could just be going for that Crimson Guard to help his team out with a bit of armor, since there's quite a fair amount of armor reduction on the side of xTc.
Well, now for the side of Ventus have lost all tier 1 towers. Going to be a little bit of a problem. There comes a Tornado EMP. Not going to catch out anyone of concern. And Timbersaw just going to be able to whistle himself out of harm's way. And yeah, but at this point in time, the side of Ventus now going to try and see if they can put some pressure on the tier 2. I think Ventus start realizing, listen, this noose is tightening around our neck. Tries to throw out the hook for Doom Bunny. Not actually landing. There comes the pit. Going to hold xTc in the lines for the moment, but in the background, Sia, he's been caught out here by Dota and Die and Scarnet does hit the deck. The fight in the back lines, the wall's going to come down, trap out the side of Ventus, and entangle from the bear, just keeping Pudge in place. Not going to happen, and now here comes Invoker. He's going to try and slow things down. Throws out the Tornado, but Dota and Die once more. Throwing out that Chakram, going to keep working on the Invoker. Scarnet, he's trying to get close enough to actually throw out his stun. Blink available. He does. There's the Burrow Strike. Now there comes the Chakram once again. And Invoker. I thought Invoker was going to die. He survived. Oh, wow. That Caustic Finale almost brought him down. Like super close. Pops Fury Fire. And runs to the shrine. Very well done. And very well done. And even that Vanguard even aiding to that. Keeping him alive just a little bit longer. Realize he's quite a tanky little hero at the moment.
It does block a bit of damage for him, so it does give him excellent health regen as well. So it is a nice item for him. It is a strange item to build on an invoker, but like I said before, he could be using it to compensate for the armor reduction on the side of xTc, since he can build a Crimson Guard for his team, or he could just build an Abyssal Blade to lock someone down later. But I'm just wondering why, if they're going to go for the Crimson Guard, they should have maybe done it on the Pit Lord. But, you know, he is going for those GG boots, which they need. They actually really do need as well. So, you know, it makes sense, but it also doesn't, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I'd have liked to have seen something more utility based on the Invoker. Yules is always a good option. Maybe even seeing the Midas just to be able to try and accelerate his farm in the later part of the game. But considering the way that xTc is trying to actually finish this game out, could be a bit of a problem. But now bot lane, Underlord's going to be under attack. Epicenter doing a chunk of damage, and Underlord going to pop out his mech. They do get the kill on the Tusk, but also getting the return kill on the Underlord as well. So a 1-for-1 trade in the bot lane, and Underlord surprisingly had to stand against 3 heroes from the side of xTc. I mean, pretty well done, eh?
It was 4 heroes for him on the side there for him, and you know, he did take down the Tusk before he died, so he did get the XP and everything from it. So it's pretty much a win for them, and it looks like they're gonna trade towers here, tier 2 for tier 2, but someone is keeping out. They decide not to, they decide to defend it instead.
Well, Burrow Strike coming out from Scarnet. There comes the kill. They get Doom Bunny, and now Pudge working on the Daz. Now they're trying to get out of there as the full force of xTc is present. And now Scarnet getting the kill down on the Pudge. Sia, you got to try and see if he can get his ass out of there. Doesn't look like it. Beautiful body blocking coming out from Dota and Da. Easy whirling blades coming out from him. Getting a beautiful little kill on the Ogre Magi and snacking up kills once again. We're now sitting 7 and 14.
Should we maybe look at the graphs and see see how it's swinging. Let's see how far ahead. Or
This is the night out. This is a night out at a dance.
let's look at it after Rush. Let's see if Rush actually makes a little bit more of an impact here. But yeah, I don't know. This Venge carry is not really working out for them the way that it's worked out for APG.
No, I feel that if they wanted to run the Venge, maybe instead of putting Invoker in the mid, oh, the bear, instant resummon. Instant resummon coming out from DDD.
Fingers on DDP are extremely fast.
No, yeah, it's like,
He's got so many things this game, and he's playing exceptionally well. He really knows how to work that hero.
do you know what I feel with the Venge pickup? Instead of picking up the Invoker mid, I think maybe having the SF mid, I mean, to really stack those auras, really using the Vengeful in the draft. I mean, when you look at it, Vengeful does a lot of damage, but before that, Sia, going to get caught out, does go down. Just looking at...
You even see he melted so quickly.
Yeah, it was. I just saw like a bunch of red dots congregating on my screen, and I knew, trouble. They're going to try and find out. Losing my mind now as well. Scarnet's going to get forced forward. There comes a barrow strike. Losing my mind. Trying to get hooked, but hard. Pulling out Dodo and Die. Instant TP out. Enough just to keep the Invoker alive. There comes a tornado. The pit, and catches no one as the side of xTc actually splits. And now... they're going to try and... now they've lined up themselves perfectly to take top tier 2 as well. Aegis is online. No, Aegis is not. That they're going to probably go back into the pit, which they are making their way towards now as well. They have got a little... the tomato creep in there. So they do know what's actually happening. The angry tomato. There comes another Sunstrike. Absorbing a lot of the damage from the rest of his teammates. Not doing nearly enough damage as that Sunstrike. There comes the hook. They're going to find the Dazzle. Instant grave coming out, and they actually decide to actually say goodbye, and Dazzle is going to be able to live through it. Now Hart and Sia going to be able to... Sia been entangled. This is terrible news. The Tornado is going to actually keep his teammate alive for just a little bit longer. Right clicks from the Lone Druid, working on the Pudge. Pudge is trying to move his sweet fat ass out of the way before he gets taken down. A couple of more right clicks. One more, and he does go down. Almost trying to deny himself. And now Lone Druid picking up a double kill as well. Now Invoker, he's the one that's in a bit of a precarious situation. He's trying to run up the uphill. He's going to go Ghost Walk, and he's going to get his sweet ass out of that situation. And wow. Oh, but a ball into the Night Wraith. Gets sent under the tower. He could actually pay for his sins here. He does go down. Night Wraith. Nice little play there, but the kill going to the Underlord, and Dodo and I picking up that kill. This is blow after blow. I mean, this is like watching Rocky. Like Rocky 3, when Sylvester Stallone takes a punching to his face.
And they would fall without Doom Bunny and DDP. They were just casually rushing while the rest of the team was fighting 3 heroes. It's like... yeah. It's just... yeah. The tankiness on these heroes right now, it's very hard to take them down. And then you add a Dazzle to that as well. And, you know, poor Kronos hasn't really got his flesh heap stacks yet, so he's not a very tanky Pudge himself. He can hook someone, maybe do a little bit of damage, but he's always going to die in that engagement. So it's not something you want to see on your Pudge at 22 minutes in.
No,
It's really unfortunate.
it's really not. Jumping onto our net worth graphs, let's just have a look at what is actually... oh, before that happens, Dodo and Die runs into losing my mind. Not doing a whole bunch of damage at the moment. Venge now coming up on the sidelines, and they're going to actually decide to actually call it off. So I think Ventus is in a little bit of a precarious situation on exactly what to do here. And I mean, it goes back to my question I was trying to ask earlier before we had a couple of fights going about, is having a vengeful spirit on your team. You know, you kind of think, well, okay, if I've got a vengeful spirit on my team, I'm then going to say, right, let's get some more right clickers, a little bit more damage dealers to actually output the damage. I mean, the only other person really right clicking on the side of Ventus is the Invoker. Hook missed coming out from 3 though.
Really, since he hasn't gone for that carry Invoker build, he's gone for the close Vex, which he needs to go for to disable the team fight here.
Oh,
Sky-
Epicenter whiffed in the backlines.
It's okay, no one saw.
They caught the bear.
But they do take the top tower here in the racks, and they're gonna back out now. Maybe just regen a bit up, get the ulties back online, and come back. Oh, they're gonna take the shrine. Huh? They're gonna take the shrine.
They're going to take the shrine.
You gotta love the update.
You got to love the updates. I think as soon as that one tier 3 does go down, it does open things for the shrines. We've actually got to check that out because I actually noticed earlier.
One side and the other. So if they take the I think it works. If they take the towers on the whole side of the top lane, and they can take the shrine there. If they take the other towers on the other side, and then they can take the bottom shrine. So I don't think they can take both shrines right now. And maybe to get to the shrines inside base,
They're going to catch out, losing my mind. Pretty simple work done there from the side of xTc. Now the rest of the side of Ventus is in the backlines, and Pudge is going to actually lead them away here from the Vengeful as well as the Ogre Magi. I don't see much that Ventus can do from this position. They need to get back to base and actually regroup. Scarnet, he's not done yet. He wants more, says Oliver Twist, trying to find out the Venge Spirit, and Dorendike gets involved. Does actually blink in, gets those whirls off, and going to bring down Outrage very quickly. But the kill still goes towards the Lone Druid.
I honestly don't know what this lineup's going to do against this. I mean, for me, they just don't have the heroes to do much with. I mean, everything that you wanted to happen for the side of Ventus just is not happening for them. I mean, the Underlord hasn't got much of impact. Still doesn't have the GG boots available. He can afford it now, but then he has no buyback. So that's a bit of a catch-22. And then, you know, you've got the Pudge who's still sitting at 1,400 HP with no flesh sheep stacks right now, and that's also a bit of a problem. He can't really be that tanky guy that can hook and survive the fights. Seer,
He hasn't even put a point into it.
yeah, he hasn't got a point, and that's what I'm saying. He hasn't got flesh sheep stacks. It's a bit of a problem. He's not tanky at all. And then you've got an Invoker that, you know, is trying to build for that carry build now. He's going for the Maelstrom as well. But he's not right-clicking all too much. And like you said, with the Vengeful Spirit, I mean, sure, she's got a bit of items up, but it's almost nothing at 26 minutes, and she's also got no HP to speak of. So heroes like Druid, like especially like a Timber, is going to blow you up so quickly. And then you've got the Tusk as well, with the Walrus Punch. These heroes are just melting.
What do you...
Absolutely melting with this draft. And then you've got the armor reduction from the Dazzle. It's just... I don't know. It's just too much disable, too much tankiness, and way too many levels on the side here for xTc.
Right, well...
Ventus can do much here. I don't know if they can do much.
It's really difficult, and I think a lot of the biggest problem is the way that it was drafted. I think Ventus's draft was a little bit less effective than what xTc's was. They do catch out the bear, so that is bear down for a whole bunch of time. It was actually respawned, so 104 seconds until bear's back online. If Ventus wants to make a move, I feel this may be their only opening, but immediately the team actually just backs out. Skynet is actually going to TP top, going to try and see if he can get out. Cancels the stun, and Invoker now trapped in the top lane. Skynet for tracking him out somehow and cancelling the TP.
Alright, so I guess I was wrong about the shrines. It does seem like you need to take one tier 3. That's okay. That's pretty easy.
Well, now it leaves a huge amount of map opening here for the side of xTc. Can't get those funky rotations.
After a tier 3 tower dies. I thought it meant all tier 3. So that's an interesting fact to learn. I mean, the patch just came out now, so yeah, that's pretty cool though. I suppose you have to take all the tier 2s and then a tier 3, so it does make it a little bit harder, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought you had to take all 3 of them and go, okay, then you can only take my shrines. That would have made more sense, don't you think?
Look, I like the fact that you have to at least take one tier 3. But looking in the top lane, Dodo and Da has actually invised up. Going to spot out the Invoker. Double Chakram coming out. Now losing my mind. Going to Ghost Walk immediately. And nothing's going to happen off the back of that. Have you seen Invoker's items at the moment? He's going right click.
No, he has to. He's their only carry now. Well, Venge is also potentially their carry. She's gone for the Dominator, the Hurricane Pike, you know, that type of builds. But it's not, carry Venge is not really working out for them. And he needs Invoker needs to attack a bit faster. I mean, Alacrity with now the full Mjolnir could do quite a bit of work, but problem is he's not doing that much right-click damage. I mean, even with Alacrity on, it's only plus 73 to 94. It's really not like, you know, oh, you're gonna really hurt me now. I think he needs something maybe like a Bloodthorn with that effect, and start critting. Also, the silence will help for, say, the dazzle, the sanking. That's something heroes that don't really carry
Timbersaw
so much later. The Timbersaw will work on nicely, but he does have the 21 Bloodstone charges. So he can always just suicide and heal up his whole team as well. It's an option. I think Bloodthorn could really work here, and we do have a big item coming up with the sanking now. The Aghanim Scepter is now completed. That could make a huge difference in team fights.
Egg Scepter up onto the Sand King. Do you know how long his Burrow Strike is going to be?
Yeah,
I want to compare it to something.
It's ridiculous.
Anyway, from the side of...
Just do the viewers a favor and hover over that Burrow Strike range right now.
Yeah.
Just
That is the length of pretty much the Empire State Building. Should it be lying on its size?
doubles its cast range. But it's like, yo, there's no getting away from the sacking.
No, there is not.
Adding the caustic finale to his ulti is also absolutely ridiculous. It really, really is. He doesn't have to right click every hero. He just has to, okay, I just ulti. That's it.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Easy
It's
peasy.
a very good Agnum's upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
It's kind of a bit retarded.
No, it is super retarded. I mean, even the lone druid receiving a little bit of a nerf in this minor update. Well, I say it's a minor, you say it's a big update. But since they changed the talent trees, I mean, DDD is still doing some pretty good work here on the lone druid. And even those little nerfs that the lone druid received is still not really affecting gameplay at the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, 15%, well, 15 less range is not that much. It's still quite a massive range to hit from. And of course, the damage level 15, so that's pretty significant. That's 10 less damage that he can apply to it. But the Spirit Bear from 7 to 12 seconds is pretty significant, and you have to wait a lot longer. But like I said, I think he kind of got buffed a little bit at the level 20, where he's got a minus 50 seconds. Ooh.
The hook's going to be good. They're going to catch out. The bear does go down. Epicenter, Sparrow Strike in from the Sand King. Sand King gets swapped in by Nitrate. Going to keep Budge alive. And now Scarnet trying to get out. Does get pitted up again. Hook coming out again from the Budge. Burrow Strike out. Ball coming back in. They're hunting this Pudge, and now it gets stunned under the tier 1 tower. Trying to work on Blue Cap, but now Timbersaw is coming to help his buddy. Has been graved up. Going to keep him alive for just a little bit longer. Is it going to be enough? Does actually get meked up. Going to stay alive. And now we lose the Ogre. 3 catching a hook. Nice on Dota and Die. Can they keep bring him down? They can't. Just so tanky this like. They do lose the Underlord. They lose the Vengeful Spirit. Hook into the base. Dota and Die trying to get out. Godlike spree for Dota and Die on this Timbersaw. Absolutely ridiculous. And does go down, but is coming back straight into the fray of things.
Raging at DDBs. You took my rampage!
Throws out the chuck him once again. Pudge going down, and the ball going to pull him into the tower, into the fountain. And now Blue Cat gets swapped back in. Nightwish not be able to do it. Gets graved up. Beautiful little play there. Actually gets Guardian Greaves out of the magic missile. GCM, the side of xTc. I don't know what they have eaten, what they've had for breakfast, had for lunch. I think there was a couple of oysters, the way they're getting so frisky here.
Wow.
And the GG.
I thought, like, mistakes were made. Like, oh, jeez, okay. There's, like, this non-existent hero there. I thought mistakes were made. Blue Cat getting in a bit of trouble, and then Dazzle right there to save him, and just immediately gets mixed up. Shadow Brave, they're able to take the kills, another axe. And jeez, like, that's just GG. But honestly, I don't see what... This draft of Ventus failed quite horribly. Look, I see what they were going for, but it just didn't work against, you know, the tankiness and absolute mobility of the side of xTc. They've just got the heroes that are way more aggressive, way more efficient in getting quick pickoffs, and, you know, they can run you down. It's very hard to kill. It's just, it's unfortunate, and unfortunately the carry event didn't work out for them this time, and maybe they draft a bit differently next time around if they want to take a carry revenge yet again.
I
'Cause
think
it's worked out in the past. It has, but
Yeah.
it's just not the right draft this time.
I feel if they'd maybe changed the Invoker to maybe a Shadow Fiend or maybe a TA, one of your big right clickers to synergize with Avenge, would do would have done a lot better.
Yeah, it may be something like that. I mean, then you've got the Pit Lord, or you've got the Venge, you've got the SF, all that good stuff. But I think SF would have also been a kind of a bad choice, because half the times they got out of fights was because of the Invoker, because of these tornadoes, because of his EMPs, because of his ghost walks. You know, he did do a lot of work around the map, kind of like disengaging from the team fights or trying to save heroes, so they wouldn't have had that advantage. And I think SF would have been shut down even worse than the Invoker in this game, thanks to the plays from Blue Cap on that Tusk. It was ridiculous. He was everywhere around the map. I mean, he's involved in there was 29 kills for xTc, and he was involved in 24 of those kills, which means he was doing a lot of work. So I still think an SF maybe would have been shut down even harder.
No, fair enough. Then maybe the TA with the refraction could have given him a little bit more survivability. But anyway, we can discuss this a little bit later. The next lobby is going to be up, so we're going to move into that pretty shortly. We'll give you guys a quick moment to go and grab something to drink, if you will. For those of you that are just joining us, don't go anywhere. We will be back very, very shortly. So don't disappear just yet, ladies and gents.
How do you achieve your greatness?
There's no margin for error.
No room for mistakes.
You need total control.
Your success is determined by your grit.
It takes thousands of hours perfecting your moves.
And only the strong survive.
You think you've paid your dues?
You think you're ready to enter the arena?
Think again.
This is the Telkom Digital Gaming League,
This is where legends fight till the last second.
where the action explodes straight through your system.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 of this Masters DGL action. Gonna be Ventus Gaming versus xTc. xTc did a very outstanding performance in the previous game. Really started snacking up those kills in the early parts of the game, and Ventus had no legging to stand on, and unfortunately they couldn't bring home the bacon. But we are in game number 2. I am Jubba, joined by Succubus once again, and hopefully we see a bit of a better performance coming out from the side of Ventus.
Yeah, hopefully we do. And look, Ventus is yet to win a game in this Masters rounds. This is now the 3rd round. They've lost both games. To be fair, they had some hard counterparts. The first game I think was APG, and then the next one was XD. So they've had some very hard opponents to face up against. So let's see if they can bring it back. Unfortunately, the draft not quite working out for them in the first game. Maybe they can bring it back in the second game. We'll have to see. But Lifestealer now being picked, much better carry than Avenge, I would say.
Absolutely. It looks like they're pulling out the big guns. Lifestealer is one of those big gunners, and it's going to make xTc think about a couple of the vessels that they actually need to actually ban out. Your common ones, Quap, Pack, Storm, Axe, your blinking heroes as well. So now xTC is going to now start thinking of certain things they need to do to actually stop and halter the Ventus lineup.
Well, They have banned out the favorite combo in the series, which is the Slardar and Lifestealer. We've seen it played many times, and it's always been successful in my account. The last 2 or 3 games that they have had that combo together. The rare opportunity that both heroes don't get banned out. It has been very, very successful. But again, the ban on Weaver, I mean, it's not even got a lower win rate in this series. It's been banned out like 80% of the time and picked, and it's got a win rate of like 16%. I still don't understand why they're banning out this hero. No team is winning with it. There's so many ways to, completely phase a Weaver out of the game. It's not, for me, it's not so much of a good hero. Maybe in the lower brackets, but in the higher brackets, it's so easy to deal with.
Look, I mean, the thing is, we've got the opportunity to actually look at the stats and actually investigate what's actually going on. So thanks to Sargon, we've got those stats at our fingertips, and people are probably just thinking like Weaver is just ridiculously hard to deal with. We don't want to actually play against him. When you consider, I mean, Rubik, okay, surprisingly, we haven't seen Rubik being picked up any time tonight. Well, in the previous game specifically. So Rubik is one of those high-picked, I'd say more high-picked than less banned heroes in this update specifically. And we haven't seen any of that tonight either. So, I mean, like these stats that we have at our fingertips completely change the ability for us to actually predict a draft.
Yeah, and it's also the fact that, Rubik's been picked a band now in the third series, coming up to the third series, about 70%, 76% of the time. Its win rate's gone down a bit. It's gone more to the normal win rate type vibe. It was, remember, like in the beginning, around 1, round 2, it was at like a 80-something ridiculous % win rate.
Oh, it's
ridiculous. But now it's gone down to about 64%. So, I mean, obviously they're learning how to deal with the Rubik picks, all that good stuff. But I mean, for me, a Weaver, like a hero like Disruptor, for instance, easily dealt with a Weaver with a Disruptor. There's so many ways you can deal with a Weaver for me. And he's got such low HP, such an easy target and pick off early game. I mean, you just need some dust, some sentries, some common sense, and the Weaver's out of the game. So, I don't know. For me, it's not a very strong ban or pick these days. If you know how to deal with a Weaver, I suppose if a Weaver snowballs, yes, it's hard. It's not easy, but again, any hero that snowballs is hard to deal with. But it's just there's so much better. Oh, speaking about the Rubik, here it comes. Jubba,
let's go to Monty. Jubba, let's go to Monty. Let's go with a million runs, and then sit on a beach and play Dota for the rest of our life.
Your luck is ridiculous. Hey, let's go gambling. I'm sure we'll be able to win some money as long as you press the buttons.
Ooh la la. Well, waiting for the rest of the draft to actually pan out. Lone Druid actually been banned out by xTc this time, so not comfortable in playing the same hero twice in a row. They see the Lifestealer, they say, right, well, they actually got the bans out first. So they banned out the Lone Druid, banned out the Slardar. They then picked themselves up the Darkseer and the Disruptor. Now, if the Disruptor can jump onto the Lifestealer before he actually rages, the Lifestealer is also going to sit in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, he's going to be sitting in a bit of a pickle, but I mean, Lifestealer's got that free BKB. He's also extremely tanky, and he eats those strength heroes for breakfast. So yeah, I think a Lifestealer here is going to be relatively hard to deal with, especially if he plays it properly. You can always just infest and maybe try to dodge the disruption. And we have seen people go for the Yule Scepter now to dodge the glimpse. So, I mean, it could be an option. Like we saw that Ember Spirit, I believe it was on Tuesday, picking up the Yule Scepter to dodge a Disruptor Glimpse. So you can always pick that up if he really wants to. But I think in the case of the Lone Druid, they're like, okay, well, we're not going to play it this game, but we also don't want to give it away. The hero is just too good right now. Yeah,
no, I mean, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of setups, a lot of things that can actually take place. But moving more on to the bans, which I'm rather interested to see, is now this time xTc still bans out the Pudge and they ban out the SK. Now, Pudge in the previous game didn't. I think he had an okay performance. I mean, we did have 3 performing some pretty good hooks and things like that. But
he saved a lot of people with these hooks. He couldn't really use his hooks to initiate. He had to hook people out of trouble, which was also really good plays. I think he just wasn't tanky enough. He had no flesh heap stacks and didn't even skill it. So it was a hard game for him. I mean, can't really play Pudge if you don't get those early rotation kills.
Well, they do ban out for the side of Ventus, banning out Sniper as well as the Jugger. Now, Snipers are absolute pests. I mean, if you don't actually have the heroes to actually get onto the Sniper, he just sits in the back lines and he just starts right-clicking away and pretty much just do what Snipers do, and that's just right-click and sip their coffee, light a smoke, and carry on with their business. But
Oh, the ugly man has come out to play the Undying.
the
Zomboids.
now, does this now this three heroes here for the side of Ventus? This is such a strong tri lane here for the side of Ventus. You you get that telekinesis off, you drop down the tomb, you throw out the open wounds, and I don't care who you are, you're gonna die.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, Undying received quite a nice buff. I mean, at level 25, he's from 12 armor to 15. Level 15, he's got an XP gain of 35%, which is massive. It's pretty significant. He's also got a movement speed buff as well as all stats I mean, at level 20, because you can't level stats anymore for an Undying, at level 20, 10 plus 10 stats or 50 tombstone damage. What would you do? I would go for stats.
Tombstone. Hello.
Nah, I would definitely do the stats thing. I mean, Tombstone at where you're at level 20, heroes right click pretty damn hard, and they can take care of that Tombstone very, very quickly. I mean, yes, you can position your Tombstone nicely, but you got a hero like Slark that can jump in and just right click your Tombstone down so quickly. You know, it's for me, it's not really worth it. Just end up feeding your Tombstone that game. But some massive combos coming out here. Imagine dropping Tombstone into Phoenix ulti.
Okay, this is a
that is insane.
These are two man, what's that word? Debut. Yes, Undying and Phoenix debuting for the first time in this Masters series, in the Masters Division League. I mean, all of them. I've pretty much watched most of pretty much all the Master games, and I have yet to see an Undying and a Phoenix, and to boot, both of them in the same draft. Okay, we are in for some
making
crazy
history
data.
here, boys and girls, making history.
Could we see a Magnus? Could we see a Magnus just for the fun of it?
Oh wow, that would be awesome.
Okay, Ventus.
Egg RP.
Come on,
Tombstone,
Ventus.
Lifestealer. Oh my gosh. And then
It's
a
Flashy
Rubik to
Doda.
steal-
Flashy Doda.
And then a Rubik to steal the Witch Doctor ulti. But I must say, xTc Gaming's team fight is looking massive. Absolutely insane. I mean, Disruptor Darkseer, still one of my favorite combos to this day. I love doing that.
Yeah.
And then you've got a Witch Doctor as well. Witch Doctor, one of my favorite heroes. Like, it just contributes so much, especially with the Aghanim's ulti. It's absolutely ridiculous. And
Well-
of course, he's got a very, very strong heal in lane. He's got a stun and a heal, which you really want from a support in early game. You want to be able to disable, and you want to be able to heal as well in case you get into trouble. So he's got some nice defensive spells, and obviously coconuts, or paralyzing cast. I call it the coconut, but it's one of the most annoying
Coconut
stuns
one.
in game. One of the most annoying
Yeah.
stuns in game.
Well, can I just
Really
point out something that on the side of Ventus, they don't have much lockdown. Now, the Slark is going to run around pretty much free. The only thing that's going to really keep players in check is maybe the egg from Phoenix.
There's your lockdown.
Okay, well, the thing that I'm saying is maybe xTc is going to pick up a Crystal Maiden and make her carry. I mean, have you seen her talent tree upgrades? Plus 60 damage!
Oh my gosh, plus 60 damage on a hero that right clicks like a fly.
I'm just saying, I mean, they've got really no lockdown. You throw a sim. I mean, the Witch Doctor's pretty much going to go ahead and do what she wants. Only the telekinesis. Okay, the silence is from the puck as well as the coil will cancel that out as well. But I mean, they have very, let's say, confidence lockdowns. I mean, it's not like a lion stun or the sheep. It's not those the magic missile coming out from Avenge. So it's still going to be a little bit iffy for the side of Ventus to lock down the Slark.
xTc have massive team fight potential. I mean, you've got a Shadow Fiend, Disruptor, Darkseer, Witch Doctor, and then a Slark to just run around and pick everyone off. It's a very scary lineup. It's a very scary lineup indeed. Then on the same side of the coin, you have a very tanky, sustainable lineup on the side of Ventus. I mean, Phoenix can get in and out of trouble. Pretty tanky hero, can heal up his teammates. And you've got Undying, who is pretty sustainable in team fights. But the problem with him is that he falls off. in the later stages of the game. So you need to make things happen with him early. You really, really do. But then again, he sustains quite a bit in team fights. He's also got a heal of his own. He's generally one of the last ones to go down in a team fight is your Undying, because he's so tanky and he's got so much sustain. Then you've got the Life Stealer, who's very hard to take down as well. And then, I guess Rubik can steal a lockdown spell, maybe a kinetic field from a disruptor. Something to that effect to lock down the enemy team. If they are able to catch someone. There's a lot of options for a Rubik here. He's going to have to choose wisely and do it very quickly. Puck, on the other hand, I like the Puck pickup. I mean, obviously, combo is nice with a Life Stealer, and it's got a massive ulti that can lock down the heroes and let the rest of the side of Ventus do what they do best. And the silence is pretty useful as well. It's also a nice hero against something like a Shadow Fiend, because if he gets, after he gets his blink yules, that type of thing, he can start going for the Dagon and just instantly pick off these heroes. Maybe get to the Disruptor before he can do anything, or the Witch Doctor, vice versa. I don't know. For me, it's two very strong drafts. We'll just have to see which one works better.
Yeah, well, the game is about to get underway, so let's get ready to Dota. This time around, xTc going to be playing on the Radiant side. We got Scarnet going to be playing our Darkseer. Doom Bunny on the Coconut Man, the Witch Doctor in the mid lane. Going to be the SF, going to be played out by DDD. In the bot lane, we've got Dota and I going to be playing our Slog this time around. And we got Cool Cat going to be playing the Cool Disruptor. For the side of the Dire, please take it away.
Well, on the side of Dire, we have Jerome and Aaron playing the Puck, and then the Phoenix over there. We have Kronos on the disgusting Undying, aka 3. Then we have, Then we have Night Wraith on that fierce little Life Stealer over there. And last but not least, we will have Seer playing the Rubik.
And that wraps it up for this game number 2, xTc versus Ventus Gaming. xTc taking game 1. For those of you that are just joining us, we hope that it's going to be an exciting game. A couple of big names in the drafts thus far. I mean, yet that we haven't seen. Undying, Phoenix. I'm really excited to see how these two perform in this Masters division, to see if they can really get done what they need to get done. They don't have big right clickers from the side of xTc, so I feel the Phoenix may actually get off a good couple of eggs.
Well, Aaron's going to have to be quick on those fingers and position himself really, really nicely, because they've got some heavy right clickers on the side of xTc. And, DDP is going to be able to right click that egg pretty damn fast if he's not disabled. So his positioning is going to have to do well. I think he's going to have to maybe drop his egg last, maybe try not to initiate with it, or maybe get in there, maybe losing my mind, aka Jerome is going to have to. Darius Curry has been killed already. That's unfortunate.
Oh wow, that was crazy. I was actually watching mid lane. I saw Jerome actually throwing out his illusionary orb. I thought he was actually going to blink in and try and pick off the Curry as well. So I actually didn't see where that snipe came from.
That's what you call a whoopsie moment.
Whoopsie. Oh, but the Coconut, good dancing between the two. Phoenix makes you go down here. One more Thunderstrike, and he's actually going to be healing up. So the Phoenix actually surviving by the skin of his teeth. I mean, xTc again putting a lot of pressure here onto this tri lane, or this dual lane from Ventus.
It's a pretty strong tri lane. I mean, you got a Disruptor, a Slug, and a little Doom Bunny over there on the Witch Doctor. It's pretty devastating tri lane, and if it gets some lockdown, we can escape. But I mean, once that glimpse is there, I mean, he can try his best to, Icarus dive out. But if he gets the glimpse off in time, the Phoenix is going to be brought right back into the trouble. But it's a very strong, sustainable lane still, Phoenix and the Undying. It's going to be hard for them to make much happen here, I suspect, with the tri lane there, with 3 heroes contesting them.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see how it does actually pan out. It's going to be, a little thing that I'm really concerned about is that they've got this dual lane. They're getting the XP advantage. Doom Bunny's trying to do what he can, throwing out those coconuts, trying to slow them down. But I mean, as you say, is there a lot of farming happening here in the bot lane? I mean, we got Mummy sitting on 10 for 1 at the moment. He's doing rather well. We've got the Phoenix sitting here in the back lines, just trying to make sure that 3 stays alive. But I mean, the kill potential coming out from xTc, It's really, really huge. But let's not forget that you have the actual DK from Mummy. So before you know it.
Well, he needs to be able to keep those strength stacks up, and unfortunately, Undying's got mana problems. He's got a lot of mana problems in the beginning. It's gonna be hard for him to do it, because especially if they're like the way that you can see how they're positioning themselves, they're not stacking up for this Undying. So he's getting his decays on maybe 1 or 2 heroes and not all 3. Maybe even one of them, but now his strength stacks are busy ticking down over there. He's got 8 strength, stealing 8 strength at the moment. So once that goes away, he has to be very careful. He's maybe going to go down here.
Pounds, Coconut. The tomb's going to drop. There comes the diving bird. First blood going in favor of xTc. The Mummy going down. And now Phoenix trying to get his sweet little bum out of there, but he gets glimpsed back, like you suggested. And we've got the Dark Pack popping off, popping out the magic wand charges. Not going to be good enough. And double kill in the bot lane, giving those 2 beautiful kills to the side of xTc. The first kill being picked up by Dota and Da, and the other one was being picked up by a Blue Cat on the Disruptor. So, I mean, 2 good kills, and that was the concern that I was actually worried about here for the side of Ventus.
It's not ideal going up against this tri-lane as an Undying and a Phoenix. Maybe would have put the Undying in a tri-lane of my own with the Lifestealer and the...
I honestly thought that's the way that it was... I thought that's the way they were going to lane it.
Oh no, Disruptor might go down here. Oh no, Blue Cat. Very, very dead.
Blue Cat, very, very dead.
Yeah. I mean, I would honestly, the Phoenix needs those levels. Yes, he's going to get harassed out of lane, but he can always go to the jungles and he can get the bounty runes every now and again. I honestly would have put this Undying in a tri-lane here against the Darkseer. I think it would have made a little bit more sense. He could have harassed the Darkseer, and the Darkseer is getting a lot out of this lane. I mean, he's basically getting away with whatever he wants to get away with here in this solo off lane here. But yeah, I think
what I would have probably done is I would have put the Phoenix in the top lane, send a Lifestealer in the bot lane with the Rubik and the Mummy, and then just harass the living Bejujas. Yeah, that's it. I mean, then you have got the sustain from the Mummy, keeping the Lifestealer alive. You've got the telekinesis just to kind of do crazy stuff, throw out the Fade Bolt, use the telekinesis to actually lock down one of the heroes. And you've still got the open wounds from the Lifestealer. Oh wow, that is going to be some dead heroes. So I think their drafts are good. I think just maybe the way that they're laning them could have gone a little bit better.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't know. I think. Oh, she's Phoenix.
Oh, Glimpse is going to be good. It does get Glimpse back, and now he's trying to stay alive. Thunderstrike going to keep him alive. Has popped his 1 charges, and he's going to bite the dust. I think he just gave up at the end there. And now stun comes out. The Coconut on 2-3. Thunderstrike. Oh. It's storming out where he is. He does get pounced on. He can't go anywhere for the moment. And 3, he's going to see if he can actually get out of here. And last right click going to Dota and Die. I actually thought it was going to go to Blue Cap, but it didn't. Dota and Die picking it up. I mean, wow.
That's unfortunate. I mean, this is the time where I go, okay, Undying, go somewhere else. Let the Phoenix solo, let him get his levels. I know they're farming the Undying by the looks of things. I mean, he's the one taking the last hits and so on. But I think it's time to swap it around now, because it's clearly not working out. But looks like they're going to bang their head against the same lane, and Dying heading to the bottom lane yet again. Phoenix now trying to make a rotation here. I don't know if Aaron's going to be able to make anything happen onto DDP.
Well, I mean, look, the good news here for the side of Ventus is Nitrate is actually getting a chunk of CS. I mean, he's sitting on the top of the charts, 42 to the closest SF sitting at 32.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at Sia. Sia, Jerome, Aaron, they're all going to try to do something to this SF. Dreamcoil is getting used here.
Oh, there's the dive. Beautiful little face shift coming out from Joran. He's going to stay alive for the moment. There's a telekinesis from Sia, bringing him under the tower. Losing my mind. Going to throw out the right click. He still gets the raise off onto to Joran. I mean, that would have been beautiful if the puck actually just went a little bit further away. But SF picking up what he could and actually bringing the kill down on the puck. I mean, that was a little bit greeds there from him. And in bot lane, we do lose the Undying again. Dota and I picking himself up. Another kill. I mean, his bounty at the moment is sitting at 183. How worthless is his life at the moment?
Yeah, pretty much worthless. And I'm very worried about Dota and I mean, a snowballing Slark is not something you want to deal with.
Okay, so it gets to the later part of the game. And you've got a Lifestealer versus Slark.
okay, yeah, Dodo and die. The problem is with the Slark is that he steals your stats away. He takes the, the essence shift is going to grant him so much, and if he gets enough stacks, Lifestealer is not going to last very long. He's going to get his Shadow Blade up fairly quickly, going to start rotating around the map doing something. So, I mean, they need to get like a sheep stick or something to deal with him a bit later. But like Slark, a farmed snowballing Slark is very, very hard to deal with. Very hard indeed.
And but the same side of the token, you'd actually say that also a snowballing lifesteal is just as hard to deal with.
Yeah,
the thing is,
but he's not snowballing.
well, no, but I mean, in terms of lost hits, I mean, he's sitting like ridiculously farmed at the moment. I mean, okay, let's take a look at net worths, individual net worths, and we'll get a better picture. I mean, okay, Slark's sitting 100 gold more than what the lifesteal is. That's it, 100 gold.
Not necessarily. He's got like 20 less CS, but he's got a lot of kills to his name, which kind of makes up for the lack of last hits.
Well, mid lane though, DDD picking up the kill on the Phoenix. And the Glimpse going to be bringing back Puck now. Jerome is in a bit of trouble, yeah. Dream Call going to be holding them in place. Quick little dodge out there from the orb. He is able to actually complete it. He makes sure to just pick up the courier for the fun of it. And he's actually going to turn his back and try and get out of there. Doesn't have TP, so now it's just a matter of the waiting game. There comes the dodge once again. Jerome trying to stay alive. The jukes from the Puck, absolutely unbelievable. And the three heroes from xTc trying to find him out, but not good enough. DDD actually landing their perfect raise onto the Puck and bringing him down. So, I mean, nice little fight from xTc once again. The score is sitting 9-2, so xTc having a pretty similar opening to what we saw in game 1.
Yeah, it's been unfortunate, but I think it's just the lanes. I think if Phoenix should have been solo, and he should have had a tri lane dealing with securing the lifestealer's farm. Like he is farming very well, and like he can sustain the lane after a certain level. Against the Darkseer, it's not really a problem for him, but I think they could have maybe rotated a bit more, maybe get some more ganks onto the SF. As soon as they see that the lane, after you've died like once or twice in that lane, you can say, okay, it's not working out, let's try something else. Instead, they kept banging their head in the bottom lane, dying over and over and over again, just giving that Slark so much advantage. It's a little bit unfortunate, and they could have played it a bit differently here in the early game, I feel.
I feel the same thing, but it's the way that the cookie crumbled and the way that Ventus actually wanted to run it. So now the question is to see, will Ventus actually be able to complete out what they set out to do, and that was probably create space for the lifestealer, which doesn't seem to be going too bad. I mean, he's not the most farmed hero. The Slark is actually the most farmed, but I mean, we're getting to the point where, okay, Lifestealer is going to have to deal with the supports rather quickly. He's got that ability to actually cause a lot of damage. With that rage on hand, he's going to be able to rage up, get onto the Witch Doctor, get onto the Disruptor. Once those two supports have been dealt with, then it's going to be up to the rest of the team to now actually deal with the Slark and the Shadow Fiend.
The problem is they can easily kite a Lifestealer around, get a couple of 4-stars, but they do decide to go on him, immediately rages up. Oh.
Death Ward dropped out, telekinesis out, stolen by Sia, and there comes the Death Ward onto Skynet, and he's not going to be able to dodge that one, and does go down. Beautiful rotations coming out from Ventus. Ventus, I don't know what happened in the break, but all of a sudden those kills there, unbelievable. But as I say, that 3 going down in the bot lane, I mean that was some superb play we saw in the top lane, then all of a sudden another kill going here for the side of xTc. I feel like they get like a good opportunity, and then all of a sudden it just disappears.
Oh, we'll see him making some really good plays there. Really, really good plays in stealing the Death Ward there from the Witch Doctor. Look, it was a viable option until, the TP rotations came in for Night Wraith there. Yeah, this Lifestealer, he's looking pretty big right now, and he's well on his way to a Desolator as well as a full omelet, so it should be an easy tower for him to take. Be relatively easy. They can't really do much about it. But yeah, I'm kind of stuck here, because I mean, do you think they just need to maybe just group up and start team fighting?
I don't think until the Lifestealer is actually really ready, and I think they're going to really look for the blink on the Puck until they actually start making plays happen. He's about 200 gold off. Once that blink is up, that's when the action is going to start. I feel it in my bones.
They could, yeah. They could potentially do it, but they're going to have to watch out for a disruptor because he's going to blink and he's just going to get glimpsed out. He's going to have to dodge it. It's going to be tough. I mean, with a disruptor on the field, it always is tough. But then again, he can only glimpse one hero, and then it's on cooldown for a full 18 seconds. So, because it is now maxed. And yeah, like I said, Sia's got so many options. He's got so many things to steal, so many beautiful, lovely spells to steal. It's a nice game for Rubik. It really is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if the puck gets glimpsed out, I mean, considering the way that it actually combo up everything, throw in his blink in, throw out his illusionary orb, and then actually get glimpsed back, he can then always orb back to where the illusionary orb was. So it kind of is a waste to throw it out into the puck. And the Lifestealer, he's going to rage up, so that's going to mean nothing to him as well. So far, the combination between the puck and the Lifestealer, I think the glimpse is going to be almost negligible in that effect.
Well, Lifestealer's rage only lasts 6 seconds. So I mean, like I said, they can easily kite this Lifestealer around with they first of all got majority's ranged heroes. He does get into a little centaur creep over there. See if he makes a move onto Skynet. Nope.
Well, we do see the TP coming in bot. So there's a big engagement bot. There's the Static Storm. Going to lose Doom Bunny. And now 3 trying to follow down onto Disruptor. DDD picking up the kill on the Witch Doctor. On the Rubik, excuse me. And now the Glimpse going to bring back... died too quickly, but we've got our poor 3 going down as well. Dodo and Da on a killing spree. Now 3 alive for the side of XTC. Losing only the Witch Doctor. Losing the Rubik and the Mummy. This is going to open up the tier 1 tower bot here for the side of Ventus.
You see how fast SF dealt with the tombstone over there. Very fast. But then again, DDP did have DD Ruin. So he did click for double his damage. But he is relatively farmed. I mean, he's got his Blink Dagger, nice Dragon Lance to boot. We'll have to see what he goes for next. But I mean, that's a pretty mobile and scary SF right now.
I'm also really, really scared about this Lifestealer. He has actually picked up his Echo Saber, so he didn't go back to pick up his Deso just yet. He actually went back to actually pick up the Echo Saber.
I suppose he'll go for his Desolator next. Maybe Basher to boot since, the Echo Saber gives him a double hit. So, yeah, I think we could see some good things happen from him, but it's going to be hard at this point because, yet again, XTC have got more levels, more farm, and more map control in the beginning here. It's going to be hard for them to come back from this.
Look, if I feel everything hinges on the plays that Joran and Lifestealer can actually make. I mean, if they can actually get some good dream coils off, some good plays, it could actually work out. And Rubik going to be punished there now. Joran trying to jump in there to deal with the slog. Glimpse going to just do a little bit of finicky play. They're just going to pull him back a tiny bit. And now XTC makes you decide to jump. There comes the pounce onto 3 once again. Drops the tombstone on the higher ground. So that's a good positioning here for the side of Ventus. But it's going to be pretty easily dealt with. But Jerome jumping in may actually be able to deal with something here. Static Storm coming down from the Disruptor. Doom Bunny goes down in the back lines. Night Wraith doing a huge amount of damage. Dealt with him very quickly. And now being glimpsed back into the fray. Going to infest into one of those ancient dragons. Egg going to actually complete its duration. Pops out. Going to now do some sneaky damage here to Skynet. And Skynet going to just be able to zip his way away. And now the Night Wraith once more. Requiem's going to be popped. Going to be brought back. Night Wraith in a chunk of damage. Trying to stay alive. Not going to happen. 3 even trying to help his teammates. And now 3 may be in the next one to go down. Blink forward by DDB. And another kill here coming out for the side of XTC. This seems like a well-oiled machine.
That went on so long that Kronos was able to die, come back, and die again. That was, yeah.
Well, looking at the match recap.
This is the power of the Slark that's snowballing. I mean, he got so many Essence Shift stacks there. He just melts it through the heroes. First, he gets a Shadowblade pick off onto Seer. Then he goes straight for 3 as well. Then they get the beautiful vacuum into Disruptor ulti combo with Skynet and Blue Cat. Then the Lifestealer, gets away, but then he tries to go for them. They just kite him. They can glimpse him. They can surge away, and when they start getting 4-staffs up as well, I mean, they can just kite this Lifestealer for days. So I mean, they were able to get him as well. It's just the team of XTC just playing their draft to full efficiency.
Yeah. Well, Well, this is game number 2 for those of you that are joining us on stream. Do shout out and give us your predictions on what and who you think is actually going to take game number 2. We had our kind of thoughts on what we thought was going to happen, but maybe you guys know something we don't. So drop us a comment in the chat and tell us a little bit more of what you think is going to transpire in this game.
I would love to hear your thoughts. I mean, after all, we can't know everything. That is a big
Lies.
But I like to know. Okay, fine. Jubba knows everything. All hail Jubba.
And
Bow
for
down,
the
bow down.
and there are things that I don't know. There's Google or live chat
There's Google.
and live chat.
Yeah, I mean, we do occasionally make mistakes here and there. I mean, we're only human. We can't
Lies. I'm immortal.
know everything. Well, I'm human. I don't know about you. But, yeah, I mean, for me, the Slark is just spiraling out of control here. I mean, he'll find. I think he's gonna find C again if he's not careful. Oh. I would just put sentries around my entrances, everywhere around my entrances, to know, okay, the Slark's coming, boys. Let's get back. Just so he doesn't get more pickoffs and doesn't snowball anymore. You know, like you can have those the key vision points.
Yeah, well, Dota and Die got double damage and is shadow bladed up. He may actually come into contention yard. Night Wraith in the backgrounds. And Blue Cat actually going down to Duran, but
Yeah, but a lot of ultis expended there. We had Witch Doctor and Puck ulti. I mean, Witch Doctor ulti go down there to try get the Puck to dissuade from killing poor Blue Cat, but oh no.
I Dota and Die.
Oh no.
I Dota and Die.
This is not Three's game. He's just going down so much. I mean, they're dealing with this.
Oh look, if you had a girlfriend, he should be very, very happy.
Yeah, but shame. This Undying's not having a great game. I mean, he's just been completely shut down. And like I said, if an Undying doesn't have a good start, he does fall off the later and later it gets. He becomes almost useless in team fights. Yeah, sure, he's got the tombstone, but that's getting dealt with fairly easily. He's got the soul rip, which is actually pretty legit in a team fight. He can heal people up, but oh my word, okay. Dota and Die in a very precarious position over here. If they spot him out, they could potentially do something, but they don't have the heroes to actually pick off the Slark at the moment. What are they going to do?
They don't have dust either, so this is going to be a fruitless little venture here for the side of Ventus. I do hear the Dream Coil. I hear a fake Requiem. There comes the blink in here from the Lifestealer in the Puck. Instant Static Storm being dropped down. Night Wraith has actually raged up. May actually be able to get away, but Glimpse comes off cooldown, or the rage comes off, and now he's going to be chased down here from DDD. There comes the Vac Wall, and the kiting around the Lifestealer. One of the concerns you do have, and
Yeah.
it's legitimately so. I mean, the amount of damage that Night Wraith could actually do was negligible.
And like I said, his rage is only up 6 seconds. They've got the kinetic field, they've got glimpse, they've got surge, they can have some force staffs coming in there as well. It's just, they can kite the Lifestealer for days and he can't really do much. It's not like a Slark.
I think
You can't really, you can try kite a Slark, but he's always going to get back. So it's a lot more mobile than a Lifestealer.
Oh.
And they don't have an answer for the Slark right now. Dota and Die is just running away and doing pretty much whatever he wants on this map.
Nice telekinesis, cancelling out the pounce, but he's going to actually just Silver Age up and get his pretty little ass out of there and survive a little bit longer. I think what Night Wraith and the Lifestealer needs, I think he needs Refresher and then BKB. And then just Rage, then into BKB, Refresh, Rage, and BKB, and then he could probably potentially kill the side of xTc.
Oh no, Dota and Die going on to push. Oh, okay. Getting out, but not instantly shadow blading is so damn fast. Jeez, look at the movement speed of that Slark.
I mean, he's so strong at the moment, but he's also still playing so cautiously, you know, for a Slark.
Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it?
He does do it. He gets he pops out the Silver Age, just actually cancelling out the feast, and he's going to be getting his ass out of there. Now top lane though, Glimpse, is it available? It is. They're going to bring back the bird. There's a Static Storm, and Roar goes down with a shout, and a big ulti from Disruptor actually being expended, but absolutely worth it. You don't want to actually have to deal with the egg now. For the side of xTc, pushing tier 3s now. This potentially opens up the shrine once again here for the side of xTc to deal with. Siak being Thunder.
Easy tower for them.
Yeah.
They have no glyph.
No.
SF It's just like, okay, you guys take the tower. I'm gonna deal with the Undying. Oh, they do have a glyph. I was looking at the wrong tower. Whoops. Whoopsie.
Okay, well, that's where Jubba comes in and knows all. Yeah, comes in first onto the pack. Jerome, can we see something fancy? Yeah, my boy. Give us some fancy Dota. He's got the blink. He's got his dagon. It's off cooldown. Everyone's left. We're not going to see any action yet.
Oh.
But the shrines, they are going to be the next point of contest. I think they're actually going to leave it and jump into the pits. It looks like it. Maybe, potentially.
I wouldn't normally say, okay, straight after blink do the dagon thing. I normally go for the Yules or something else afterwards. But just to deal with the Slark as quickly as possible, they're going to need this dagon. They're going to need that damage.
I don't even think it's for the Slark. I think it's potentially like,
for the SF or
get the Disruptor. I mean,
yeah, something that can just quickly pick off someone. But I think it's a good plan here. It could potentially get them a little bit of let's say a bit of the game back with that pickup. It is a very expensive item to get. It's gonna restrict him from maybe getting a sheep stick or something. I don't know. It's a hard decision. You either go for the early sheep stick or the early dagon. It's up to you what build. It's very situational, but I think in this case they need to gain some advantage back in getting those quick pickoffs and some money for their team. Also putting the side of XD with down a hero would help them out a little bit to maybe win these team fights.
Yeah, it could help.
I definitely agree.
Yeah. Look, I'm reading the live chat at the moment, and from what I see, we've got one prediction on Ventus. Muzzy all in on the Ventus team, so hopefully his prediction does come true.
Muzzy Dotos.
Yeah, and hopefully we see his prediction come true. And Shrine going down for the side of Ventus. That takes away the Rosh backup potential from the side of Ventus. They can't look at now defending this Rosh very quickly. They're very spread out at the moment. I mean, Duran is in the bot lane trying to see what he can get done. Life Stealer is just sitting in the jungle. And it's going to be pretty a free, easy rush here for the side of XTC.
Yeah, why not?
Is that a blink on our Blue Cat?
Yes.
Disruptor has... Oh,
Minus
wow.
blink,
How
minus
farmed are
blink
these supports?
and Glimmer Cape. Yeah, pretty farmed. I mean, Witch Doctor's sitting with the Etherlets, so there's that.
Oh,
Lucia getting
glimpse.
back.
Into the kinetic field. Thunderstruck drop. They're going to pick up 3 again somewhere, but we're focusing on the Rubik at the moment. And Rubik is going to try and dodge his sweet little bump, but he's calling them into his forest, and it's not going to happen. They're going to bring him down. Only being able to re-throw out the Thunderstruck stolen out from the Disruptor.
As unfortunately he couldn't steal the glimpse or the kinetic field, maybe then he had a chance of getting out, but unfortunate for him, he steals the Thunderstrike, and that doesn't really do much for him in the way of escaping. But yeah, this should be an easy Rax for them here. Fairly easy.
Well, I just symbolized that the team logos are actually on the map. So Ventus, we're getting to check out your logo. They did lose the top lane of Rax.
There by the shrine, see?
Yeah.
Beautiful Ventus logo over there.
Puck pops up the shrine. Does have Last Stealer in him. Just having a look at the other base. And there's the xTc logo as well. So everything is good. Everything is happy in Dota 3 land.
But yeah, this puck now has gone for...
Ooh, big jump coming out from Puck. Immediately BKB up from the Shadow Fiend. We've got our Darks here hitting the deck. Nitrate toggling through that Death Ward. Oh my gosh, Nitrate, how you survived that, I have no idea. But now we got the glimpse back here from the Bird. He does go down for a life still for the side of XTC, losing the Bird, losing the Rubik. And the Bird was lost a little bit earlier. But I mean, still, wow. All pounds is going to be good. 3. I think we're going to name a lullaby after the mummy. Oh, he lives. He lives.
He does live, but...
Oh, my word. But in the backgrounds, we do lose the puck.
Did he lose the gem as well now? Or did SF pick up the... Oh, no, SF got the gem they just bought for the poor Slark.
Oh, that's crazy. And now there comes the jump again from Dota and under the tier 4s. No respect. The Shadow Dance even being used up. And Nitrate not even wanting to actually defend anything. Yeah, they've got the buyback out from Puck. This is going to be the last stand. Infest. There comes a jump forward. Not catching out anyone. Now they got the Illusionary Orb bouncing forward. They're not going to be able to spot out anyone. Oh, they found the Doom Bunny. They found the Doom Bunny. Doom Bunny under a bit of a right clicks here from Nitrate. Can't actually withstand it. And the Witch Doctor going to go down. Dota and I think that's the first bounce he's missed. And now Phoenix trying to keep Night Wraith alive. They're going to try and waddle their asses out of this. Easily dealt with the tomb there and XTC.
I was just about to say, maybe Doom Bunny is not going to get spotted. He's probably going to TP out, and then Dream Coil. Shit, he just melts there. I mean, a 25 essence shift stack, stealing 75 agility on this Dota and Die. I mean, you're not getting away from this slot.
Telekinesis. Seer, one more hit. It could go down. Night Wraith trying to focus on the SF. Going to go through the wall. I think that's probably the first wall I've seen. I lie, but it's probably one of the better ones. There comes the Static Storm. And the Duke's coming out here from Night Wraith. But eventually SF does go down. Gem is on the deck. And Scarnet trying to pick it up. But now Dota and Da fighting in the throne. Going to still deal with Seer. And now Dota and Da sitting with 44, 48, 49. And Glimpse going to put back 3 into the fountain. And GG has been called out. The tile has been thrown in. And
that's hilarious, though. I mean, Seer stealing the wall there from the Darkseer. And SF killing himself with, well, SF dying to his own illusion with a face ball to boot, instantly buying back. Well, that was a pretty funny kill there. Well played to Seer.
Yeah, that was...
That made me chuckle.
Yeah, this was a crazy game. I mean, I really, just from what I saw, I think I was really keen to see the way that Ventus was going to draft their lineup, or actually lane their lineup. I don't think it was really such a bad lineup. I think it was just the way they laned it, and from there things kind of just went a little downhill for the Ventus squad.
Yeah, the problem is they didn't really have any heroes to deal with the Slark. For me, even if they did well, they don't really have much to deal with the Slark until someone gets a sheepstick. You know, it's yes, they've got a silence from the puck or whatever, but I mean, if he times his skills, you know, he can easily just get out of it. I mean, you can debuff it. You can debuff the silence. So, I mean, a Slark is a very hard hero to lock down if you don't have something like a sheepstick or a disrupt the silence. You know, something to that effect, which Seer could have always stolen. But you know, he's probably still going to get out of it in the end. It's a very, very hard hero to deal with that lineup. And I mean, there's the pure team fight coming out from the side of XTC. It was just it's a really hard thing to deal with. And like I told you before, they've got heroes to kite that Lifestealer. That's why I was worried about him from the start. I'm like, he's not going to be able to accomplish much here.
Yeah, it was a 19 for 0 KDA for Dota and Da. I mean, a Slark that never died an entire game.
Perfect game for him. He had an absolutely perfect game.
Absolutely. DDT with 12 for 2. I mean, those were your biggest kills coming out from this game, XTC. So extremely good work. I think Ventus did have it. They would have stood a better chance if they did run the lanes.
Did we even look at the graphs that game?
We didn't, not in game, but you know what? With post game analysis, we can.
We can do it. Let's do it.
So looking at the graphs, Team XP and net worth. Wow. Okay, net worth sitting at around about what? 38k,
well,
35k, and then XP sitting around about the 28k mark. I mean, XTC completely in a dominating lead. From around about the 10-minute mark is when things started getting a little bit out of hand for the Ventus squad.
I mean, in that last team fight, I mean, the Slark was sitting with almost 50 essence shift stacks. So it was like, okay, good night. Anyone who decides to come on me, like that guy was. Dota and I having 2 fantastic games. I mean, in the first game, he played a brilliant Timber, and the second game, I mean, he just ran away with the Slark. So, but I think it's all due to the draft. They didn't have the heroes to deal with the guy.
I mean, even look at this. Even look at the timing of the hand of Midas on Disruptor. I mean, he picked up his arcane boots. He went back and picked up his hand of Midas by the 14-minute mark. 14-minute mark on Blue Cat
And that just escalates everything for him as well. Just like with a Midas and his talent tree. I mean, at level 10, he's got plus 60 gold per minute with a Midas. That, you know how rich he can be. And it's evident. I mean, he had Blink, Glimmer Cape, he had everything. I mean, it was a very farm disruptor. Yeah. So, I mean, just a Midas with it 60 plus gold per minute is absolutely ridiculous at level 10. It really is. It escalates him quite far.
Anyway, I think it's time to wrap up the cast. What is the next game that we shall be casting?
The next game we shall be casting, I'll let you know now.
Right. Well, while you
go into the email and check it form.
okay, check that out for us. In the meantime, guys, we thank you for joining us on this beautiful Thursday evening with xTc versus Ventus. We got some other casts coming up, a couple of more Masters games coming up. So do follow the DGL website for further upcoming events. Like the page, like my YouTube channel. I'll be bringing a couple of the Master games to the channel as well. So if you want to be staying up to date with that kind of stuff. Otherwise, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Myself at Jubba Gaming, and you can follow Chanel at Succubus on Twitter. Succubus
_ Chanel.
Yeah, on Twitter and Facebook. So do give us a shout out if you guys want us to change something, if you just want specific shout outs. We're not very we don't often do shout outs, so maybe you guys get a shout out, I don't know. But anyway, what's our next game for Sunday?
Our Sunday game, we actually have two games. We have the Vet casting the Pulse vs Veneration game, and we're casting the DC vs XD game.
Wow, okay, that's going to be good.
Cool. It's going to be some good games on Sunday.
XD is also undisputed. Yeah.
Yes. No, XD isn't. They've lost
No,
actually,
undisputed series.
Undisputed series. Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be some good games this Sunday. I mean, we're gonna be streaming both games. I mean, Pulse Generation Devet will be doing, and we'll be doing the DC versus XD. But I am looking forward to the Tuesday matchup.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him yet.
February. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, it's like.
For all of you people that want to go out for Valentine's Day, just make sure that you have your cell phone with you, and then you can go sit on the toilet and watch the game on YouTube on your cell phone.
The 15th of February is also pretty cool. We have Energy versus XD, which, as all you know, energy and energy. Energy versus energy. Energy versus the new energy versus the old energy. It's going to be a massive matchup as well. I can't wait for it. Some very exciting games to come, boys and girls.
Yeah, so I think without further ado, I think we guys leave you with some happy thoughts. It's an early game. It started really early, so we're already done by 20 to 9. It gives you guys a lot of Dota time to that's upcoming. So enjoy your.
Watch out for Jubba techies on the servers, guys.
Jubba techies. No stream sniping, eh? No stream sniping, people. No stream sniping. Anyway, from myself, Jubba and Succubus, we wish you a wonderful Thursday evening, a great Thursday, a beautiful weekend to come. So from ourselves, good night and God bless.
Bye-bye.
How do you achieve your greatness?
There's no margin for error.
No room for mistakes.
You need total control.
Your success is determined by your grit.
It takes thousands of hours perfecting your moves.
And only the strong survive.
You think you've paid your dues?
You think you're ready to enter the arena?
Think again.
This is the Telkom Digital Gaming League,
This is where legends fight till the last second.
where the action explodes straight through your system.
inside you.